Sensei Beats.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Just Some Weebs, episode 13, where we'll be discussing Mob Psycho season 1 and 2. Whoa, I messed up. Damn. All right, I got it. What's up, guys? Welcome to Just Some Weebs, episode 13. Today we'll be discussing JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, and Mob Psycho season 1 and 2, and my favorite, Weathering with You. Let's do this. All right.
What do you want to start with?
Let's start with Weathering with You. Let's start with, it's a rainy day for me and you, Connor. I think it's rainy for you. This man Eric over here, West Coast. West Coast man over here don't get rain like that. So
especially out in the desert.
Yeah.
So I need to know your guys' initial, opinion. And Connor kind of spoke on it a bit last episode, but what did you personally think, Eric? And what would you rate it?
Oh, of Stardust Crusaders?
No, for Weathering with You.
Weathering with You. I would rate it like a 9. It was really, for what it was, and it's not even usually my type of anime, but for what it was and what it did, I really can't knock it. Like, the animation was beautiful, the story was great, like everything was just done perfectly. I really can't knock it.
Okay, that makes me so happy, man. I'm converting my man Eric over here to the dark side of the romance. But yeah, man, I rewatched it with my girlfriend. She also really loved it.
I feel like that's a perfect one to watch with a significant other.
Honestly, and it's just the fact that you kind of feel bad for him in a way. And I watched it in dubbed, and I kind of it was my first time ever watching it in dubbed, and I kind of liked it. The narration, you didn't really get that in the subbed, so it was more, you definitely felt it. It was a lot more, heart aching in the English dub than it was in the sub.
Yeah, I watched it.
And that's usually not the case, but they hit it really well. And that man, sorry, there may be a little bit of spoiler here, so skip ahead if you haven't watched the movie yet, because it's still fairly new. But when she started disappearing, man, you had to feel it. You had to feel it, friend, because he wanted to, confess to her, tell her that she's his first love, and all you see is she just starts, flying away, becoming one with the sky, and there's not many, anime stories that kind of fit the same story as Weathering with You, where you have a girl who has the power to change the weather, and it's just it's so, and they found a way to make it so heart aching, but then end it perfectly with a happy ending.
Oh yeah.
And I would give this anime kind of like you, Eric, a 9, more leaning to 9.5, but this is, if you guys haven't watched Your Name, this is definitely above Your Name for me.
Really? Okay, because I haven't seen Your Name yet. I think this is he did 5 centimeters per second. So I've seen those two.
And he has that kind of, Makoto Shinkai has that kind of style where you definitely feel the emotion in every one of his stories. And Your Name was a little weaker on that side, and that's why it's not one of my favorites, but it's up there for me with Makoto Shinkai. But he's such a genius, man. He knows how to touch the heart. He knows how to play with the heart. In a way that many romantic authors or story writers in anime just don't know how to do. They more lean to the side of the cliche, school and stuff like that. But Makoto Shinkai said, you know what? Fuck school. We're gonna make him run away from his hometown and be a stray, and then first of all, you gotta love the guy. I forgot his name. The one that owns
I can't remember the name. The business guy. Yeah, he was my favorite character.
Yeah, you gotta love him. He's just a chill dude, man.
When they first showed him like on the boat when he saves, I don't remember the main character's name either, but when he saves him, I thought he was going to be some like super rich guy that like, out of the grace of his heart helps people out, but he ended up being kind of like the same situation at one point.
Yep. And then you gotta love Rain, man. Rain is just like an adorable ass cat that's just there every cat, and she got all fat.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So I just that movie will always have a good place in my heart, and I'm honestly glad that I was able to watch it in theaters and be able to have a specific feel, like, how do I say it, a specific feeling while watching it in theaters, because it's not the same as watching not the same as watching in your house.
Yeah, having like that surround and the big screen definitely like it makes it more impactful, like the big scenes between like the movie and just like the animation being so big definitely adds an extra element to the show for movie for
and
sure.
If you go on like IMDb or my anime list, that, and actually I gotta look up the rating for that, but I know it is nowhere near a low rating, because I've looked up reviews and I've seen many people say how much they love the anime or the animation. So
you can tell when it's like a big movie too, because you have like all the YouTubers that usually just do movie reviews start doing that as well. And like when I looked up Weathering with You, it was like there were some big people doing it. I was like,
really?
oh yeah, it's like I can't really think of them off the top of my head, but like when you look at him, you're like, oh, I've seen that guy. He's done a review on something. Every single review gets like 1 million views. But it's like usually anime and stuff have like a pretty niche crew, niche content creators, and then sometimes you'll have a big hit like Cowboy Bebop or Weathering with You or like Studio Ghibli films where they'll branch out into like other genres in a sense where people will, more, it'll have a bigger audience, if you will.
Yeah. It has an 8.45 on my anime list, and it's ranked 114 in the total anime, rankings, which is
right.
For what it's worth. I'm happy with that. And
I really solid.
I really wish there's more anime with the style that it had, but I feel like it's extremely expensive to animate it the way that movie is animated. You can tell how high of a budget they had while making that movie.
Oh yeah.
So speaking of budgets, I'm excited to see when the Demon Slayer movie hits, the United States, because they had, I'm pretty sure, a huge budget. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I'm interested to see that for sure.
Yeah. They honestly, like, I think they hit like 1 point something, like 1.1 billion, around 1 billion.
Yeah, it was huge in Japan.
Yeah, and if it's that big in Japan, man, it has to hit all the weebs over here.
I mean, I saw Joey, the anime man, was just doing a review on the film because he's in Japan, so he's seen it already. But I'm almost hesitant to watch any reviews on it because I want to just like experience it myself for the first time before I see other clips or photos from it. But
I definitely feel that.
I don't know when it's supposed to hit over here.
I'm pretty sure it's hitting in 2021. Yeah. Unfortunately, but
it was supposed to be October originally.
Yeah, but I think coronavirus pushed it back. Coronavirus is a fucking asshole.
Seriously, dude. Anime cons, Attack on Titan season 4. I mean, jeez.
Did I announce last episode that my Japan trip got postponed?
Yeah,
I'm postponing I did.
I think so. Or maybe I saw it on.
Yeah, I posted on my Instagram too.
Yeah.
And that's just, it was such a bummer, man, and it's crazy because when I realized, I only found out when I got to the checkout for my plane ticket. They were like, there may be check with the embassy to see if there's any travel bans or something like that. And I was like, let me see. And I'm like, wait a minute, Japan has a travel ban for 150 countries. And I'm like, what? First of all, why are there even prices for airlines if you can't even go to the country?
There must be some way, like if you live there or you're like, you work there or something.
Yeah, the thing about that is you have to. Well, originally it was non-foreigners only allowed in Japan. So even residents of Japan that weren't Japanese weren't allowed in Japan, and they lifted that ban up. Now and then they allowed students in, and then what do you call it? You're like only business people, students,
Right.
and residents are able to enter. And if you don't, or if you aren't one of those three right now, they will keep you at the airport and make you go back home. And if the only way for you to leave, the only way for you to leave the airport is if you take a taxi or cab to another airport and go home. And that's like $400 to go from one airport to another. So they have no chill, man. But I respect it. They have less coronavirus cases than we have deaths in the US, which is
Yeah, I mean we kind of we're to the max right now.
We fucked up there.
Yeah, except for Vermont. I think we're still under 2,000 cases total since it started.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. So now let's talk about JoJo, man.
Let's do it.
Get into it.
Yeah, man. What do you think so far, Connor? What do you think so far?
It definitely gets 100 times better from where I stopped. I thought it was only 26 episodes when I first started. So when I dropped it, I was like, oh, I made it halfway through already. And it's like, hasn't really got me yet. And then I realized there's actually 48 episodes in the season. So I was like, wow, I'm like a quarter of the way through right now. So I pounded it out a bunch more. I binged like, the next 20 episodes or so. And then it got a lot better. The stands got a lot more interesting. The characters, I finally grew to like them instead of just kind of being annoyed. Because honestly, it was Joseph. He was just I found him so over the top and annoying at first.
You didn't like Joseph?
His oh my gods. And like, oh no.
Oh no.
I was like, why every time? And then eventually I was like, okay, I love it.
But I feel like that's like the best part of Joseph, his over the top, exaggerated, essence. And go ahead, Eric.
And him and I think reason why he's like there, why Jotaro's the way he is Jotaro and Joseph are just complete polar opposites.
Right.
Like there could not be any more different.
Yeah. No, I definitely once as I got farther, I realized it's like, okay, they're doing it on purpose. So I started to grow on me a little bit.
And his stand is just so utterly useless.
Right. Just to see the future,
an
image of something. I mean, it has its benefits, but it's kind of like
it's like for 1 in 1,000.
Right.
But who is your favorite Egyptian stand user?
Egyptian? Honestly, I think I liked the Darby fight, like the poker, like the gambling and stuff. That was one of my favorites, but I also really, really liked Iggy versus the Falcon, like the ice.
Falcon, yeah.
Yes.
That one was pretty badass. I
didn't Iggy for the win.
Right. I didn't expect it to be that intense with it being a dog, but
and a hawk.
And when he was talking too, his narration made it so interesting and intense.
Yeah. It's like man, did you get to the part where okay, I don't, because I don't want to spoil anything. Did you see anything that happened to Iggy yet?
Are you talking about with the Vanilla Ice fight?
Vanilla Ice, yeah.
Yeah, where he gets stomped and just brutalized. Yeah, that fight was bad. His stand, Vanilla Ice or Cool Ice or whatever you call it. His stand was it was pretty OP. I still haven't seen Dio's stand, but Vanilla Ice, dude, the void, it literally just disintegrates everything it touches. It was
an Absol.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Damn, man.
So I saw Abdul get sucked into it or whatever. Abdal get sucked into it. And I'm hoping he comes back, but at this point, I mean, he's already come back once, so I'm assuming he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
It's that last arc is very, very tragic because there's 3 people. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah,
I heard something.
Man, there's always something going on in my neighborhood, but it's is it loud or?
I can't.
It's an airplane.
That much anymore.
But there's what's it called? I'm pretty sure there's 3 deaths that happen in the end of that season. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
think
I just got up to the point where they just ended. They just like beat Vanilla, or they just started fighting. What's his name? The guy that has like a girl's head. He like has a girl head on the back and like his head in the front, and he like turns around to like hide it. But I think he loses really quickly.
Yeah.
He's like one of the vampires. I don't remember what his name was.
Oh yeah, no, now I know you're talking
But
about.
he like, yeah, he disguises himself and he like forgets to like turn his hands the right way, so they're backwards, and that's how Jotaro figures it out.
Yeah, but
it was a pretty
Iggy.
quick fight, and that's where I
Iggy.
left that last episode.
Rest in peace, Iggy, man, because that is my saddest death, man. When Iggy tried to save him, man, he tried to fight, and he just he lost very, very badly, and it was like a one-sided fight at that point.
Right.
It is.
But and I feel like Iggy,
he saved him though.
He did. But so from which you I don't think you rated it from the beginning. Oh, did you Cambridge Diet Connor?
Yeah.
Oh. But did you rate it the last episode or no? From what you've seen so far in JoJo.
Did I what?
Did you rate it?
Did I rate it?
Yeah.
I haven't like put it in my anime list or anything yet, but I think I think I'd have to finish and see the ending before I can give it a solid rating.
Okay.
I still think I liked the first what is that? Blood? No, what's the first part called?
Phantom Blood, wasn't it? Phantom Blood.
Yeah, I think I think Phantom Blood might be my favorite so far.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's a very.
I enjoyed it.
Most people actually don't like the first part.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the first part.
That's interesting. It's like the complete opposite of me. I didn't really enjoy that one. I enjoyed Stardust Crusaders 10 times more than I enjoyed whatever that season is called.
Right.
But
Phantom Blood.
I just found the idea of the vampires kind of cheesy, and kind of overused in a way, because I've seen like at least 5 or 6, 7, 8 anime that is about vampires, and I'm glad they changed routes or directions from what they started at, because when you look at it, they are two completely different anime at that point, because they have the plot honestly just goes in two different directions from Stardust Crusaders to the original JoJo.
Yeah,
the original JoJo is about the vampires, and no special powers besides the vampire powers,
and like overdrive or
and then once Stardust Crusaders hits, I think it's the first episode that they announced the stand.
Yeah, it was either the first or second.
Yeah.
So whenever they meet Jotaro in the prison cell,
off the jump they announce stands and like, what is that? Hold on, whoa, slow down. This is not what I watched before.
Right.
But it was honestly, I honestly loved Stardust Crusaders from the beginning, and it started off slow, but I kept watching it and I'm like, yo, this is awesome. And then the dude with the gun, I absolutely hated in Stardust Crusaders, but he was funny. Yeah. He was necessary. I feel like he was necessary to the plot, because he also added like a little mini protagonist. Is it antagonist? Is it antagonist? The antagonist. Yeah. Add a little antagonist to the story. To be a placeholder for Dio. Both blonde hair. It makes sense.
Yeah. I think that like for me, it was just like at the beginning when I almost dropped it, it was because like I didn't think stands were really executed well when they first introduced them. It wasn't until really, honestly, when Whole Hog and what was that, Phantom, the guy that like Pomarov has been looking for the whole time, had like 2 left hands. When they were introduced, I feel like that's when stands really kind of took their form, because it went from just being like, okay, this is my stand, I'm going to explain it, and this guy's like, I'm going to explain my stand, and then they fight. It's now like they're constantly worrying about like, oh my god, could this be an enemy stand, or like, oh my god, that could be a stand. It reminded me a lot of like Nen abilities in Hunter x Hunter, where it's like, oh, we have to be worried of this because this could be somebody's stand, or this could be a Nen ability, like we never know. So it kind of adds like this omnipresence of them always having to be aware, conscious of something coming.
Yeah.
Which, and once it hit that point, it just kind of kept going up from there, and it was like crazier and crazier, more powerful stands, which was really cool.
What did you think about that old lady stand? I hated her, man. That one that was like obsessed with Dio.
Yeah.
Oh right, her. Yeah. She was interesting, but she didn't do much, I don't think.
She didn't do much, but like she was introduced from like the moment they continually showed Dio and they spoke about the Egyptians. And you know, I feel like she was just an unnecessary character. Like, and I'm glad. Did she die? I don't think she died. I don't think.
No, she did.
She did.
She had the like the whatever the bug Dio puts on.
Oh yeah.
It like went inside of her and like went to the next level, and it kind of like exploded out of her.
Honestly, like I'm glad she died.
Yeah.
I'm glad she
died. From the like this part to like the next parts, are there any of the stands like do they follow through and like people inherit them, or is it kind of like each part has new stands? As far as like part 4 or 5.
That's interesting because there's people you can actually get stands there. Well, if you watch Diamonds Unbreakable, I forgot what the little short dude's name was, but like he gets a stand is basically was formed through like this kind of monster thing and from an egg, and it hatches and becomes his, but most people just obtain it or like kind of are born with it. But there's like different ways to get stands.
Right. So like say like something like Star Platinum, like after you go to a new season, like say, I mean, Jotaro's obviously alive still, so he still has it. But you know, if he was to die or like somebody else, like Abdal, like do any of those stands appear in later parts, or do they just create new ones for the show?
There's a lot. I mean, there's some that come back from the other parts, but most of them are all new stands.
Just all
like,
new ones.
All new characters, and some are returning and some aren't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean that's pretty. I like how like in this one, like Joseph is in it with Jotaro, so we have like 2 Joe stars together, which is kind of cool. The dynasties.
Well, I gotta ask Connor, are we grinding the rest of the season, the next season of JoJo together, or
have you seen? You haven't seen it either.
I haven't
right?
seen Diamonds and
I'm down. I mean, I'm in it now. So.
Really?
So I mean, I don't know. Is it as long as this one was?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, I'll try, but I don't know if I'll be able to finish all of it, like 50 episodes.
I don't know either. I can't promise I'll be able to finish that. But if we're able to get to like the halfway mark,
we'll hit the halfway mark for sure.
All parts after part 1, they're all like 48, like 50 episodes long.
Right, which I love. I'm happy for that. It's just hard to do that right now.
Yeah.
But I like longer anime personally. I mean, the 12 episode stuff is fine, but like I like something that you can binge, something that has more depth to it.
Okay.
But I mean, that can often turn into filler. So.
So I feel like, you say you wouldn't rate JoJo Stardust Crusaders until you finish the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, I definitely got to finish the last fight and see how it ends.
I think we spoke enough about JoJo. What do you guys? Yeah. All right, time to start the icing on the cake for me, man, which was Mob Psycho. Man, I loved Mob Psycho, man. I really, really did. And I'm hoping Mob does end up confessing to that girl, because he's been grinding to confess to her, man. And I respect it. He's been grinding. He's been on the grind. But the fights, where Mob just goes berserk and just goes 100, and not even just 100, the 3 question marks. Yeah,
right.
Shit hits the fan, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Hold on, slow down. What's happening?
Dude, the animation style too is so
Yeah.
unique. Like I've never quite seen anything like
It
it.
kind of has that One Punch Man animation style.
Yeah. Yeah, with
And
the round heads and
yeah, it's
big
just the
eyes.
blank stare.
Right.
Mob has the most basic character design, and then the little the religious mob symbol where it's just him with like drawn and terribly.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
funny, man. Mob Psycho is just it has the perfect balance of comedy and action in it. Like
For
it,
sure.
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
especially in the second season. Like the second season, I feel like they executed the action in like the last 7, 8 episodes perfectly. Like
Definitely.
in the last listen, I'm not gonna lie, the boss, I kind of liked him. He was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
He was
Ray,
badass.
Yeah. And
I loved Ray. He was my favorite character.
really, okay.
Yeah, he was my favorite character.
My
I
favorite
like.
character,
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead, Eric. I'm trying to think.
Okay, I'll explain why he's my favorite character. He's my favorite character because at the same time he's a liar and he's like pretty decent at it. And I mean he's kind of been just tricking Mob the whole time. And then I like during the second season that he finally like feels bad for what he does and kind of owns up to all of his mistakes in a really wholesome way. And I wasn't expecting him to do that because I didn't think he really had to, or I wasn't expecting him to just because of his character. I still loved him, but like I was just so happy that he was what's the word for it? Not wholesome. Had the integrity to own up to his shit. Like I really respected that. Then like skyrocketed my likability for Ray like way up there.
Yeah, like
He was definitely a likable bad guy.
at first I didn't like Reagan, but he grew on to me, like you said, after he owned up to his shit. Because he kept using Mob, and like he was trying to have friends and do things with his friends, and he was just trying to be a kid, and he
And
wasn't allowing him to.
Yeah, Ray was totally using him too for his own benefit.
And I kind of I kind of found it funny when Mob stopped talking to him, and that's like when everything for him just started going to shit. Like he got exposed and stuff like that. And Mob still had the decency in his heart to keep him from getting, expect at least stop him from getting as exposed as he was going to be at that press conference. And and it's just you may look at Mob Psycho and think that it's not a complex anime as much as it really is, because when you look at the surface of it, it's it's just a what's the term of it? It's just it's just another shonen anime, but there's more to it than it just being an action anime. You have Mob, who's literally he's not into violence at all. He's like kind of like Reagan tells him, which I don't understand why, to not fight back and just run away, which I hated him when he told I hated the part where he said when Mob was fighting the upper, how do you pronounce it? Echelion, Echion,
The
the
claw,
claws,
the
yeah, the
ultimate
upper,
five,
the claw, the scars. When he's fighting the scars,
right?
when he's fighting the scars, and he like slapped him to like stop him from doing what he was going to do. I was like, yo, what are you doing? No,
Right.
let him go. Let him do what he needs to do. Do you not see his friends fighting for their lives?
Right.
And then, man, I just feel like he doesn't let Mob do what he needs to do. And
he kind of puts the restraints on.
yeah, and then when Mob like somehow ended up looking up to him even more and gave him his power, and just Reagan just started going beast mode, just swiping the psychic monsters away, and then just started. I don't know how he I don't know. It's just I found it funny, and I did not like that he tells Mob. I don't like that he tells Mob to just run away and not fight, because there is times where he needs to defend himself.
I agree 100%. So you guys both think that Reagan's your favorite then?
I don't think he's my favorite character. My favorite character would have to be the blonde dude with
the friend.
The friend.
Was it
Taraku?
Taruki or something?
Something like that. something like.
Kanazawa.
And it's just because I feel like he's such a necessary character.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was at first, a villain. He thought he was the number one person in the world, and then Mob came and not trying to fight. He pulled the Naruto, not trying to fight back, and he ended up with a split baldy in the middle of his head, which is hilarious.
Right.
And then he ended up with this what's her name? What's her name from Simpsons?
Marge.
Marge with the Marge hairstyle, and at that point, I just loved him immediately because he's such a comedic character without trying to be comedic.
It really is.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like Mob Psycho perfect. They nailed that perfectly. They nailed it being a comedy anime without needing to make it a comedy anime, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So, for me, I would honestly have to give Mob Psycho an 8.5 because I generally enjoyed it from the start to the finish, and it didn't disappoint at all.
I agree 100%. I think I gave it an 8.8 or a 9.
Okay.
That's where I'd put it too. Yeah, like 8.5.
Yeah. Okay. So,
but what'd you guys think of like the claw as a whole? I thought it was really cool how they did that in the second season, whereas the first season was kind of like, they're playing like supernatural, going and hunting stuff and like exercising it. Where then season 2 comes around and they add like a boss, like the Suzuki, like the dad of that kid, and they have like this whole organization that's like almost taking over the world, and it just like scaled up the season or the show so much. Like Mob went from this high school kid that was like almost doing a hoax where he was just getting money and doing these quick jobs to having to like almost defend the whole country, which was pretty drastic change, I thought.
At first I thought the kid was the boss, like until they showed the dad and said that was the boss. And I didn't think that he was going to go against his father. I thought he was, trying to, do world domination.
I did too at first.
And I'm not gonna lie, I did like the claws. But you know what I found the funniest about it? What is his name? Damn, I'm trying to remember the government dude, the one that was a spy, the one that infiltrated it, and it was like, oh, we're gonna destroy you guys from the inside, and he just got absolutely destroyed from like the one that was protecting the boss.
Yeah, I liked that guy a lot. The one with like the umbrella or whatever. Yeah, he was a really cool character.
Yeah, and then did you watch the OVA after the 14th episode on Crunchyroll?
I can't remember if I did.
It was like them going to the like the parallel universe, like they would cross the parallel universe to get to this this hot spring resort.
Remember. Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. Yeah, so basically they showed the umbrella guy, like the what do you call it, the neat guy going on a business trip with Reagan and Reagan, Mob.
Oh wait, I think I did see that
Mob's
actually.
brother. You did?
I think I did. Yeah, because he joins them, right? Like
he
works for Reagan now. Yeah.
I honestly love that, and I love that all the psychic, like the kids and stuff, look up to Reagan somehow,
right?
And he has no powers at all
whatsoever.
Like, he is the con artist of con artists. Like, how do you convince people that actually have the powers that you have powers, even though they deep down inside they know that they don't that you don't have that you don't have powers, and it's just.
He's a master brainwasher.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's a spirit user. I forgot what Mob said about Reagan.
Yeah, what was that girl that Mob liked, or what? I forgot her name.
Yeah, the Tome Kurata.
Yeah, I mean, she got dared to date him or lost a bet.
Oh yeah, that one.
My
God,
that broke my heart. I was like, that's so.
You know what's the fucked up part about it is, Mob rejected her, and then somehow he ended up with getting her in the end. And because he is such a nice guy, he's like, can I walk you home? Even though he rejected her, which is kind of weird, but
it's weird. Like he rejected her, but at the same time still wanted her, and almost came off as like, I wouldn't say simp like, but like kind of fit a little bit in between those lines. I don't know what's up with these anime characters and having to grind so hard for love. Like it's a very common theme in all these shows. They have to go through so much just for, I mean, you do in real life, but in these anime shows, they just take it to the extreme.
To the max.
To the max. It's because it's highly romanticized in their culture to like really stick out for your true love, even if it's like so hard and it just puts you through so much stress and you have to go through all of this.
Right. It is a trend for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man. I like the Mob Psycho so much I might give it another watch, but I know deep down inside I'm not going to, because I don't got time for that.
Yeah, we got another 50 episodes of JoJo's to go.
Oh yeah, you gotta finish all those JoJo's.
You still gotta end up. You still have to end up watching FMA.
I know. I'm going to. I swear, it's the #1 show on Mal, so I have to. But
you gotta get on that. You gotta get on that.
Do you know if there's a Mob Psycho season 3 that's confirmed?
Yes. They confirmed it for either 2021 or 2022.
Okay, so it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of COVID.
Yeah, and they're gonna really focus on Shigeo.
On who?
Mob.
On Mob. Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's the whole show, the whole season. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, he confessed her at the end of the manga. And unfortunately, I do know the answer, but I do not want to spoil it because I got spoiled myself. So
So this is the manga a lot farther than the anime?
Manga's finished.
It's finished.
It's finished. Yeah.
Shit.
So
know that.
And unfortunately, I have not continually. I have stopped. I wouldn't say I stopped reading it, but I stopped reading Jujutsu Kaisen. But I kind of halted, and I'm still on the same chapter as I was on the last episode, which is kind of unfortunate. I've been so busy that I didn't get a chance to, read it.
What chapter was that?
70.
Okay, yeah. So you're at kind of like a point where it's like it's going to be really big in a little bit, but it's almost like a lower kind of flashback point, if I remember correctly.
It's so slow right now.
So you got a little bit. So no need to rush. I mean, they're still coming out with episodes, so I don't know how far the season's gonna get into the anime, the first season anyway. But
I think they're gonna stop at I don't know, where would they stop?
I feel like they might get to the Goodwill, like the competition.
You think so? I don't think so.
That might be kind of far, but it might be right before that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna halt it right before.
Yeah, because I mean that could be a whole second season almost, or like a movie or something. That part of it, Goodwill competition.
Man, but so you guys got anything else to say about this episode, or?
Not that I could think of off the top of my head.
Not really. So, me and Connor have to watch Diamonds and Brick. Well, at least try to finish it
to that halfway point.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish it. I don't know if I will be able to, but I'm gonna try to finish it.
Right.
Do you guys want to call it, a night and end this episode off?
Yeah, it's good. I gotta get to work anyway. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to start it later, so.
Okay, guys, this was episode 13 of Just Some Weebs, and we discussed Mob Psycho season 1 and 2, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and we discussed The Weathering with You. We love y'all. Hope to see y'all next week, and catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.